Dear teacher, this is Christophe here at Motisse, and in this video I would like to briefly illustrate how our ID catalyst works. So as you can see on the screen, just right now, I'm already logged in. I'm a teacher at Motisse Creative Writing Workshop, and I have clicked on Write so that I can see my writing project. I have two of them. The one on the right is well on the way, no problem, but I have another one that I have just started. I don't have a title yet, and if I click on it, you can see I haven't written anything yet. What I've just done is that I have completed personalization just before starting to record this video. I have said that I am between 13 and 17, and I wrote that I am a teenager who loves everything about Harry Potter. That's who I am as a writer. And I am actually writing with someone specific in mind. So I click that, yes, I'm writing for a specific audience, and this audience is my grandma, and I just wrote that she doesn't know anything about fantasy and Harry Potter, and she's above 45. So Motisse will account for these details when it comes up with suggestions in the ID Catalyst. So if I click now on ID Catalyst, I can see that I can work on a new short story, a piece of fiction, or a letter, or a diary, or a poem. So I'm going to choose fiction, and here you can see that I can get suggestions for only the setting of the story, or I can get suggestions for storylines, or both. And that will guide me through a few steps until I get something that I can use to start writing. So I'm going to select only storylines. I'm going to click on Generate Ideas. And now Motisse is working in the background. It will take a few seconds. And now I get some suggestions for a story. First one, an elderly shopkeeper and a teenager love as they reminisce about curious objects in the store, discovering that one magical silver spoon can mend broken promises. Here you can see personalization at work very easily. There is an elderly person, there is a teenager, and there is a magical object. And that relates quite clearly to my personalization. I can look at the third suggestion, another example. On a misty morning, a lonely boy explores an abandoned manor and discovers a hidden garden where forgotten stories come to life through faded whispers and old letters. Once again, I can see that there is an element of fantasy. There is a rather young, likely main character, and maybe the old letters and faded whispers will appeal to our target audience. So that's how personalization works with the ID Catalyst. I can select this option if that's the one I prefer, and it will appear at the top of my text so that I can see it easily when I start working. So that's for fiction. Let's try just diary. And here, when you want ideas for an entry in your personal diary, actually, it will only pay attention to who you are, because if it's your personal diary, you are not writing for anybody else. So here the same, I can generate some ideas. So let's forget about my grandma for a while, but I am a teenager who loves everything about Harry Potter, right? So now I get 5 suggestions for my personal diary. First one, capture your feelings the last time you failed at something meaningful to you. That's quite an interesting topic for a personal diary. The third suggestion is imagine if you could use one spell in your real life. What would you do with it and why? And here you can see it's not too far from Harry Potter and the magical universe, but it's adapted to a personal diary. So I may choose this one, and it will now appear at the top of the place where I can write, and that can guide me to get started. So that's it. That's a very short illustration of the ID Catalyst. Thanks for your attention, and stay tuned for other videos.